What's going on, guys? It is Akrameth, and today I'm going to give you guys a review of UK Games Expo. Now, this is my first one that I've ever been to, so didn't really have any kind of expectations there, you know. I've been Comic-Con a few times, so I said, let me go for something for like board games and like see some creative people in there outright. Never been before, but oh my days, the walk there, man. You have to park up and then walk like 20 minutes, but anyhow. So we're in, the venue is huge. I think I might have been here before, but yeah, me and the boys decided to take a trip down to Birmingham to see what it was about. If you haven't already, my name's Akrameth. I'm a graphic illustrator and designer, and I like to design characters and do stuff in people's games. So here you have me just grabbing my ID card. I've got my map, I've got my lanyard, I'm all set, I'm ready to go. And yeah, when you walk into the hall, it is huge. Like, they have 4 halls specifically, and they're all interconnected in a cool way. But yeah, just starting off, we walked past the Catan side and they were kind of demoing a new quicker version of Catan, kind of like how Monopoly have their own quick version. You can see people kind of selling their own custom die and dices and other parts. I think they use resin to make them, but yeah, some really cool, intricate die for anyone that's into D&D or just wants their own custom dice. There were a lot of people, way more than Comic-Con as well. And yeah, they always have... I've always been into like board games and card games like Articulate, but I said, you know, I want to try something different. And man, with the amount of creativity here, you can see games like Azul's, yeah, just the Moonstone. There's just a bunch of games. People had their own dioramas which they made for games. Now, for my D&D people or anyone that plays games like this, it looks so cool. It looks so cool, I must say. I watch a lot of people craft dioramas, so I can appreciate what goes into it. Yeah, again, more custom die. Even the one that's shaped like crystals, it looks so cool. Very, very cool. I only had a few hours before I had to leave for a family event, but man, I felt pain when I had to leave a bit earlier because you will stop by and end up just like browsing, and everyone's really friendly there, very friendly. They always want to show you how the game is played or explain their process, so which is a nice touch. No one's closed off, which makes it an even better event. So I think this gentleman had explained him and his family and how they do it. They use paper, resin, and they just paint it. But man, it looks incredible. It looks incredible. The amount of detail that probably goes into it, even creating the little craters from when bombs hit, is so cool. And leading on to my next point, there's someone who created like a calendar kind of thing where like each time you flip, it's just a different, basically, base for a board game. Really cool, really creative. Shout out to the Crossing Paths team. I've been following them for a while, and I wanted to meet the voice of the channel as well, but it was good to meet them. Really nice people, and I didn't know that you could play an actual solo board game or game of sorts just using a book. That was a first for me. Again, I'm very much so a beginner, but just some really cool stuff and some cool art, man, honestly. Here you can see people showing off some of their like art itself, and one thing I like is that whoever like has created the game, it's normally like family or friends that have come together and made something, and they're, you know, the team morale or that energy is always there, and they always have the illustrators around, so it's nice to talk to them and kind of learn about their game and how it all started and their process. Again, some really cool cards. A friend of mine is creating a game, which I cannot talk about, but I am doing the artwork for it, so it's interesting to learn the process of how they print or how they make said game, because sometimes it's just unknown when you're starting something new, you know? But everyone is very welcoming and very forthcoming. So here is where I was stuck for a while, guys. Honestly, I've never been so indecisive in my life. My missus would be very disappointed. I wasn't decisive. I couldn't make a decision. There were just so many different games. You will, if you come here and you love a good board game with a family or friends, you will end up spending a lot of money. You will. There's a game for everyone. I specifically was trying to find games that were maybe quicker games, like 5 to 15 minutes long, or 30. I like Articulate and stuff like that, Monopoly, but I'm very basic, so seeing all these games can be a bit overwhelming because you want something that's easy to pick up and play. I'm not a seasoned vet like some of these people that were there, so I went around asking people questions about what they would recommend for someone who's just beginning this venture into collecting board games. But man, again, I have to say, the art, the artwork. Look, even this is shaped like Super Nintendo box art. Like just really cool designs. Somewhere like heavily detailed, somewhere very simple in art. But again, it makes me think of like the way old games were, like on PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. They had to do a lot of artwork for the games, or games like Earthbound or any pixelated one, because it's pixelated, so you have to get as much personality and art into it as possible, and vice versa for board games. There were even people demoing some of their arts, like I met these gents, and this is a book of big bads where it's just illustrations of enemy characters like orcs, demons and imps, just stuff like that. And look at this was quality. This was someone's card game character, and man, the prints, some of these prints, they could just go in a frame themselves, honestly. The good thing is as well is that they were demoing a lot of the games that they were playing, and you had a section to, if you wanted to play one of these games that you're interested in, you could. But I think I was so interested in just like walking around and seeing people's art and what they were selling. Like even here, some amazing artwork. As an illustrator, it's just refreshing to see a bunch of people trying different things with art, even different styles. Yeah, this diorama was crazy. It's like on top of like an icy kind of concave, I don't know, like. And then we had another one. Oh man, tell me this doesn't look like Mordor. I think of Mordor from Lord of the Rings when I see it, but it looks ripped out of a game completely. A lot of attention to detail with the LED lights below, and they build it and explain their process. Again, very creative stuff. It looks amazing. It does. You can really picture what they were trying to do with this and just recreate it just to play games on. Here we had some custom wooden Rolexes, and yeah, they were really cool. I've never thought about having a wooden watch, but hey, that's what they have at Games Expo. Everything and everything. Here we have some really detailed, I think, props for games, or just standalone original creations that they want to sell. Again, look at the packaging, like evidence, like their case files, obviously some mystery game. This game, I had my eye on this game. Shout outs to Lost Boys. I think it's Lost Boys Entertainment. They had a game called Plunder, and it's a mix between like Catan and Risk, where you can kind of build up your ship, and each time you kind of spin, it rotates like a storm area where you're not meant to be, and also where chests are so that you can gather resources. And I think it's once everyone goes around a turn, or once someone finds the treasure, you can move close to it. So a really detailed game, very, very detailed. These guys were really nice on explaining their process and how it's played and some of the plunder that you can acquire. A friend of mine was very intrigued too, but this game is heavily on my list of games that I would like to collect and like to play. But I need to level up. I have to go through stages, guys. Again, I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie. It's refreshing to see so much creative people, and most of them started their, board game creation journey during COVID, which was a tough time for everyone. So it's just nice to see people doing their thing and, and trying things and being creative, and just them explaining their process. It's really amazing to see. And yeah, if you're a game designer or game creator, even if it's not video games specifically, just into gaming or having fun with friends, I would heavily recommend coming. You will not regret it. You will leave with something. You will spend money. It's impossible not to. Here we have some of the pieces and different weapons you can collect as well. Yep, Plunder Life, and just some of their other little games. But again, shout out to Lost Boys Entertainment for being so welcoming. Here we have just game mats. Again, you have grassy plains, canyon plains, an airship. There's the dungeon sets, like it's real top down, the way you would see it like a game. There's a game that you can play which keeps your score on a tablet next to you, which is like, yeah, it's next level. Like the way board games have evolved to, you can have it on your iPad to keep tally of scores and play the game at the same time. It's crazy. It really is. Yeah, so just once again, if you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I create concept art for characters, games and logos, specifically character design I specialize in, and I will be coming to more of these events. But yeah, give the channel a look, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you get a chance to go yourself. It's been Acrometh. Peace.